Hello everyone, my name is Wayne.
And I'm Rebecca.
And we are your Bourbon Journey. So here we are again, and we are now sampling 3 because it is Whiskey of the Quarter. So we're going to find out which one of these 3 bad boys that knocked out a lot of competition, which one of these is going to be the winner of this quarter. And Rebecca, do you want to go over the contestants that have come to this point?
Yeah, I mean, if you've been following along, you probably know what the last 3 whiskeys of the month were, but just for clarity, I'm going to give you a very brief overview of each one. First, in alphabetical order, we have Orphan Barrel Fanged Pursuit, which is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. It has been aged 17 years and its proof is 92. Second, Star Hill Farm Whiskey 2025. Its classification is an American wheat whiskey and it's by Maker's Mark Distillery. It was aged 7 to 8 years and its proof is 114.7. Finally, we have Wild Turkey 101 8-year, which is also a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey by Wild Turkey Distillery, aged a minimum of 8 years and its proof is 101. So that's a pretty heavy lineup. We have 2 Kentucky straight bourbon whiskeys and then 1 wheat whiskey. So it's going to really depend on what our palates are looking for today.
Well, let's go ahead now, and we're going to, I guess, start right and go left.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go A, B,
our
C.
right, and we're going to check to see what we think tastes good and smells good and all that type good.
Yeah, the first time is just kind of our preliminary tasting, and we'll share our tasting notes. This is the only time we'll share our tasting notes today. Okay. Any other time we get into a more deep ranking and such, we'll fast forward that. But we'll share our tasting notes, and we don't have any idea what we're drinking, but you will. So cheers and good luck to Canada Day.
Hey, I cheated, I sniffed.
Sweet, it's kind of sweet.
I do like the nose on it for sure.
It's sweet and inviting. Almost confectionery.
I would buy that.
We did, we bought the bottle.
I always say that, I buy that because it's like she ends up being right. I should just sit here and taste it and go,
No, I'm wrong a lot on our blinds.
Let's try this puppy because I'm tired of sniffing it.
Yeah, let's find out what it tastes like. It's got a little proof on it.
A little proof, and it is sweet, and it is confectionery sugar.
I like it. It's just hitting on a lot of cylinders because it's sweet, but it's got some nice little almost white peppery notes that are in the back, which are keeping it from being too sweet. It's tickling my throat there. I'm gonna have a little sip.
It's a very interesting pour. There's almost a little bit of chocolate too.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be curious when we taste this again to see if it's gotten a little better. But so far, it's very good.
We're going to give a preliminary score as a benchmark. As we move forward, we will adjust them as we go along. Okay, let's go on to candidate B.
B. Move him over there. Let's go to B. Well, this is radically different.
Radically different. Now I'm getting some brown sugar on it. Little hints of caramel. So good luck to candidate B. May you do well.
B. Cheers.
Kind of similar. It's not, it had a little more sweet notes on the nose for me. I'm not getting as much brown sugar on the palate. I got more brown sugar on the nose.
I'm getting a lot of oak.
It's more dark caramel than brown sugar. I mean, the sweet note for me now. Wow, it's got good legs.
I'm gonna taste it one more time.
Yeah, because I was wanting to see if I was getting anything else. It's pretty savory. on the palate. It's
Pepper
rich.
Pepper in the back.
And it's rich.
It's not, it definitely, you're right. It's not a sweet bourbon.
Which is fine. I don't always want a sweet bourbon.
Agreed.
Sometimes I like to mix it up. So it's going to depend on what our palate says today. These are very close though. And we can give them the same score on the first round. We just can't do that in the final round. All right.
Cleanse my palate there.
All right, let's move on to C. Oh, he's got some legs sitting there in the glass. Very nice. This one's got, it hit my nose a little faster than that other one did. I should say than B did. They smell a little similar to me.
They do. And I don't understand.
This one's got, again, it's got a little bit of that brown sugar note going on.
I'm picking up more brown sugar in this one than I did the previous one. I really didn't pick up anything.
This one's hitting a little harder on the in a good way. It's more pronounced on the nose, I think.
I'm gonna taste it.
Just candidate C.
C.
Cheers.
Yeah, I'm just not getting much on that nose. Wow.
I'm still getting a little bit of brown sugar.
I am getting, unless my palate, is gone flat or there was a drug in this first drink that's just changed everything. I'm getting a lot of oak. I'm getting a lot of oak notes. I'm not getting a lot of sweetness. I need to try this again.
It's very savory. It's more savory than B, and I thought B was pretty savory. But I did think the nose was sweeter, but the palate is it's kind of mature.
It is. It's a little bit dry in the back. Gosh, almost, it's peppery, almost leathery.
These are really close.
They're very
They even
close.
seem really kind of close in proof. They're very similar, but one seems to have a little bit darker notes than the other. They're very similar. It's just going to come down to what we think on this given day. After that first round, I don't know that I could make a decision right now. It would be pretty darn hard.
Well, well, we need to go through it a little bit more, but right now one's clearly ahead for me.
Yeah, right now I have A ahead a little bit.
Same here.
It could change as we go through it the second time. The glass has been sitting out a little bit longer. Our palate's awake now. This was our first taste of the day.
Yeah, probably should have done a warm-up, but...
Probably should have done that, but we weren't thinking about it. So let's go through. We're gonna do a deeper dive on A right now for the nose, A, B, and C for the nose. And so we will score that, and then once we're done scoring the nose, we will come back and share that with you. Okay, we're back. So did you have a clear winner on the nose?
One.
Me too.
C was second and B was third.
I flipped those. For some reason, this one was singing to me a little bit more that time through on the nose. So I went actually 1, 2, 3. Kind of funny. And you went 1, 3, 2. So we're still kind of close, but the nose isn't going to make the final decision for us anyway. I mean, if it had a terrible nose, it probably wouldn't have won Whiskey of the Month.
Right.
That's the bottom line. And, they all got good viscosity. They were all great, or they wouldn't have won Whiskey of the Month. And unless someone came in here and swished our glasses one of those days.
This is just, like I said, this is just really confusing to me because I have no idea. Usually there's one that jumps out like, yeah, I think that's it. I'm really confused.
So we'll go off camera. We'll go fast forward again for you.
Yeah.
And we will taste each one of them very carefully and make any additional notes we want to make. And then we will rank them 1 to 3 for the taste. Yep. So we'll be back in a couple minutes. Well, for you, it'll just be a few seconds. We'll fast forward. We are back. That was really wild because we're having a hard time with B and C. They're very similar in a lot of ways, and it's kind of throwing us off a bit, but I still had A first for the taste.
I did too.
So far, A is a pretty strong contender. And then I flipped on the taste this time. I went with C as my number 2 and B as my number 3.
Okay, well, I went in order. I went B as my 2 and C as my 3.
So we flipped. The first time you had the other way and the time we had this way. So we are neck and neck for this, and it's pretty interesting. So now we will do another taste that is really to focus on the finish. So it takes a little bit longer, and that also might give us now that our palates are really warmed up, that could also give us some additional insight into each pour.
Yep.
So again, we'll fast forward, but we'll be back in just a bit. Okay, we took a little while on that because not only did we do the finish, but then based on our overall ranking each category, then we also adjusted our scores. And our rule with one another is you can't give two glasses the same score. So we have to have a differential between each one of them. So let's just talk about the finish right now. What did you rank first on finish?
First on finish actually was C. Do you want me to say
Sure,
what?
go ahead.
I went with it because it kind of reminds me of a dusty bottle. There's a age factor to it that I kind of liked. Then the finish on B, I ranked second. It started to pick up a little bit. I don't know why B and C were asleep for me for as long as they were, and it started to pick up a little bit. I won't read what my note is until the end. And then A, I had finishing third, and these are very splicing of hairs with
exactly. Yeah, I mean, interestingly for me, one stayed number 1. I mean,
okay.
A stayed number 1. It was number 1 in every category for me, so obviously it's going to be my number 1, the highest score. I flipped back again on B. B now went to 2. It had been 3 on the taste, but it came in second on nose and finish for me. And then sample C, while it was 3 on the nose and 2 on the taste, it came back in 3 on the finish. And I think for me, and it's almost, we got the same notes, but we evaluated them differently. From you were getting it as a dusty, I got it as a bit drying. And it was almost borderlining tannic. They were very similar, but I felt like B was just a little more pleasant on a, to have on a regular basis. It was just a little more pleasant for me. So that's how we ranked them. So now I guess we should share our scores and find out.
Adjustment.
Sure. We're going to share our scores, and if we need any adjustment, you're good?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we'll add them together and see what the averages are. And if we have a winner, we have a winner. If not, we'll have to go back and do some kind of tiebreaker. So let's just go A, B, C.
Okay.
So I gave A a 95.
Okay.
What did you give A?
I gave it a 90.
And what did you give to B?
B, I gave a 92.
I gave it a 93.
Okay.
So right now, A and B are tied.
Okay.
Okay. So I gave C a 90. What did you give C?
Same. So it's out.
It's out because it's a 90. So right now we have A is a 92.5 and B is a 92.5 and C is a 90. So we're gonna have to go back, do another taste, and see if we can decide for whatever, it's shifting any numbers, and see if we can do that tiebreaker for A and B.
Okay.
So we'll be back.
We'll be a few minutes.
We're not going to. Okay, we're back. We're going to see if we have a winner yet. We're not sure. So I left A at 95.
Okay.
Did you do anything with it?
No, 90.
90. So it stays at a 92.5. I did take this, so it looks like the other one's going to win because I did take B up to a 94 from a 93.
And I took B up to 94.
So it is now a 94 overall. So it is going to win.
And my reasoning was this. I really came down to which one of these would be my daily drinker if I were to pick one. A is terrific.
It's fantastic. It's still my favorite. I like the proof point, but there's something about it where I think after a while I would get gaggy. It's not bad, but going to the criteria of a daily drinker, and B kept getting a little better, a little better, a little better. Well, and I left A strong at 95, so I did not change it. It was still my favorite, but I felt like B was evolving on each sip. Yeah. And I took it up to a 94 because it was so close for me. I felt like I couldn't have them 2 points apart. I had to have them just 1 point apart. So obviously B is going to be our winner. Oh, I guess we'll go ahead and do the reveal. So our third place is C. And C is, I can't read the number. One.
Yep.
I'm not too surprised.
Not surprised at all.
This is the Orphan Barrel Fanged Pursuit. It's fantastic. I think for me, it is a 92 proof. I think that was one of the reasons it wasn't quite hitting as hard as the other two for me. And the other one is, while you liked it, I found that on my third or fourth drink of it, it was getting a little too oaky for me. The first few sips, it was really strong and great, and it probably is back to what you were saying about a daily drinker. It would be almost too oaky for a daily drinker for me.
Yes.
So that's why I moved it down.
The note that I was getting with it was dusty. And when we did our original tasting of it and it won its division that time, it reminded me of a dusty bottle. And it's coming through like that. It's really an excellent bottle, by the way. It's worth getting if you have the opportunity to get it.
I've still seen a few out there in the market.
Yes.
So, it's a pretty rare one just because it's an Orphan barrel.
Yeah.
So it only happens once on each one. And this is the first time that Orphan Barrel has done a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. And it happens to be an 18-year-old. So that's why we were getting so many of those notes. So I would highly recommend it. Let's go on to A, which is our second place. A was second place. And A is, let's see if we guessed this right. I think we did. Star Hill Farm American Wheat Whiskey. And that was kind of evident on two fronts for me. One, it was the proofiest, right? Because this is 92. This is, I think, 114 something. So it drank a little warmer, and I like a proofier drink. I think that's why I kept scoring it high. It was my favorite of the day, only by 1 point. But I think also it had so many lovely sweet notes. It was just really inviting. So I liked it a lot, and it was my favorite. But overall, as a team, it edged out just a bit and became number 2.
I liked it. I mean, all my notes basically started with a 92 grade. I gave the nose and the taste to it on the initial thing. The only problem with it, in my opinion, is the winner ended up kind of getting a little bit better.
Yeah, it opened up a little bit.
It opened up because initially I didn't get anything, and it was kind of the same with 3. With C. So anyway,
we'll go on. We'll share the winner. If you've been seeing all the bottles all along, so you know who it is. But just to make sure we didn't mess anything up, it is 3. And looking at the bottle, you can tell that we've been drinking this bottle a bit, so there should have been some familiarity with that. That bottle's been hit pretty hard. So Wild Turkey, the 8-year-old, which just came out this year. So we think it's a great thing that Wild Turkey came out with the 8-year-old this year. I love it. He definitely loves it. I mean, we have 2 other backup bottles of this now. And
it's not a bias to it. The funny thing about it is normally I picked up clove.
Yeah, I didn't get that this time.
I didn't get clove. And it may be the fact that, with these 3, I mean, I don't know if it washed out. I have no idea. But the one thing it did, and when we came to the final tasting.
The finishing thing.
When we came to the final part, I was going to go with what I would pull out every day to drink. It was this.
Well, and it edged Orphan Barrel for me because on the finish, I was getting the dark chocolate notes on it, and I love getting dark chocolate on a finish. So that was very positive for me. I think this is a great lineup. They're all Whiskey of the Month winners, and there are no losers here. So I'm going to be clear about that. This is simply, it's a ranking system for us. It's how we are seeding our Sweet 16 for Whiskey of the Year. So Wild Turkey 8 will be a #1 seed. Star Hill Wheat Whiskey will be a #2 seed, and Orphan Barrel will be a #3 seed. Our 4th seeds will be determined by our 2nd place Whiskey of the Months throughout the year. The 12 of those will be narrowed in a playoff to 4, and they will be our 4th seeds. So all of these will be in the Sweet 16 at the end of the year, up for Whiskey of the Year, and who knows how they will do on that given day, right? So this is just a way we're doing our seeding and kind of ranking as we go along through the years.
That said, Wild Turkey, Jimmy Russell, Bruce Russell,
Eddie
Russell,
Jaretta.
You took it down today. You came from kind of behind like a great horse and won the day. So I think I have a drop.
I get pretty good.
I have a drop left, and you could tell that we've been hitting it a lot. So Wild Turkey, Star Hill Farms, and honestly, Fanged. Great job. All great stuff. If you can find it, you buy them. If you like what we do, please hit the subscribe button, and always remember to drink responsibly. Have a great day. Cheers.
Cheers.